I have another story about a journey today, about a trip. And this book is called Aki, and the Fox. And it's written by Akiko Hayashi. I wonder if Aki could be short for Akiko. Just wondering. Where do you think they are in this picture? You're going to find out in this story if you don't already know. Oh, I hear something in the sky. I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm outside and I hear something in the sky that tells me someone is going on a journey. Here's Aki and the Fox. Oh, this is one of my favorite kind of books. It's getting very windy now. You can see in the window behind me, you can see the trees moving in the wind. This is not a library book, but it used to be a library book. A long time ago, when you got a library book from the library, it had this little paper. I think it's actually a little paper kind of taped in there that they would keep in the book. And when you checked out the book from the library, they would put a little stamp in there, and it would tell you the date that you had to bring your book back. So usually you would get maybe 2 weeks or maybe 1 month to keep your book, and then you would have to bring it back. And this is so you didn't forget which day you had to bring it back on. They don't do that at the library anymore. The library looks a lot different than when I was a kid. Aki and the Fox. Hey, that doesn't look like the girl on the front. This girl looks different. Khan, the fox, was bored. He was waiting for the baby to be born. Grandma had sent him all the way from her village near the seashore to watch over the new baby. Slowly, Khan drifted off to sleep. He was dreaming of Grandma's village and the great sand dunes. There's the baby. That's called a bassinet. It's a little baby bed. It looks pretty empty to me. When Khan woke up, a music box was playing softly. There was a tiny bundle in the cradle. Khan felt his heart beat faster. The baby had finally come. She was a beautiful little girl, and her name was Aki. It didn't bother Khan when Aki chewed on his paws. And when she began to crawl, Aki sometimes squashed Khan. But the little fox never complained. Soon Aki learned to walk. She often took Khan with her, dragging him by his tail. Khan didn't mind. He loved playing with Aki, and they were always together. But while Aki grew bigger and bigger, the little fox grew old. One day, Khan's arm burst open. Aki was worried. I'm fine, Khan told her calmly. I'll go back to Grandma's village. She'll know what to do. I'll go with you, said Aki, and she hurried to get ready for the journey. When they arrived at the train station, Khan walked straight to the platform. This is our train. Follow me, Aki, he said. The train started to move before they could sit down, and Khan led the way to their seats. Do you see how they look like they're doing this? Because the train Have you ever been on something like a train and it starts moving? It's like it wobbles. Kind of wobbles while you're walking. So they're trying to keep their balance while they walk. You take the window seat, said Con. We can watch the countryside, and before you know it, we'll be in Grandma's village. But Aki remembered that she hadn't packed anything for lunch. What if we get hungry, she said. Don't worry, Con answered. They sell delicious lunches at the next station. When the train stopped, Con jumped down quickly. You wait right here, he told Aki. Don't worry, I'll be just fine. The train won't leave for 5 minutes. And off he ran. So if you've ever been on a train, it doesn't always just go straight right where you want it to. Sometimes it has to stop in other places, and other people get on and off. So they're not where they're going. They're still on their way. Khan got into line, but a lot of people were ahead of him. The line was moving very slowly. Only 2 more minutes before the train leaves, he thought anxiously. Sammy's at the back of the line. Oh, and look at that guy. He looks like he's running. He's trying to get somewhere. You don't want to miss your train and it starts going without you. You've got to be on time. Aki waited and waited, but there was no sign of Khan. Suddenly, the train started with a jolt. Khan, called Aki, but there was no answer, and she began to cry. The conductor came by to find out what was wrong. If it's a fox you're looking for, he said, I just saw one over by the door. There was Khan, holding their lunches in his hand. In his paws. He was holding their lunches in his paws. When he saw Aki's face, he said, Don't worry, Aki. Our lunches are still warm. He had jumped back on the train just in time, but his tail was stuck in the door. See the door shut on his tail? I'm fine, he said cheerfully. Go ahead and sit down, and we can eat right here. What are you two doing here? Demanded the startled conductor. Don't worry, we have our tickets, Khan explained. It's just that my tail is stuck. I'm trying to make this so you guys can see a little bit better. Maybe like that. The door finally opened at the next stop, but Khan's beautiful tail was bent in the middle. The conductor got out his first aid kit and bandaged the poor fox up. He's getting a bandage. Khan and Aki decided to stay in their seats for the rest of the trip. Soon they saw the sea through the window. Oh, if you've ever been to the sea, touch your cheek. The sea is another word for the ocean. Sometimes it's other water. They had reached Grandma's village at last. Could we take a walk on the sand dunes? Asked Aki. I've never seen anybody before. This sign says, to the dunes. Khan looked around. Grandma's house is the other way, he said. But I guess we could take a quick look. Who are they waving to here? There's the conductor who helped them. The dunes stretched as far as they could see. The two friends were making footprints in the sand when Aki noticed that someone had been there before them. "Whose tracks are these, Con?" she asked. "I don't know," he answered. "Let's find out." Quite an adventure. Suddenly, they were face to face with a huge dog. He sniffed Con's feet. "Don't be afraid, Aki. I'm here," said Con bravely. But before he could say another word, snap! The huge dog picked Con up and bounded off towards the top of a dune. Aki climbed after them as quickly as she could. From the top of the dune, she could see the sea and hear the waves, but the dog had disappeared. "Con!" shouted Aki. "Con! Where are you?" But all she heard was the crash of the waves. Aki kept searching until she found the dog's footprints around a little pile of sand. There's the picture. There's the little pile of sand. Quickly she began to dig and soon uncovered an ear. She dug faster and faster until the little fox was finally free. Aki held Con gently in her arms. His legs were dangling limply from his body. "Are you all right?" she asked him softly. "I'm fine. I'm fine," murmured Con in a tiny voice. Look, what else do you see that was in the hole? This. Aki climbed down the dune, carrying Con on her back. "Which way is Grandma's house?" she asked. I'm fine, murmured Con in the same tiny voice. Uh-oh. Is he answering her question? She asked which way is Grandma's house. It was getting darker and darker as Aki hurried toward the houses. There, at the end of the road, she saw Grandma waiting for her. "Hurry, Grandma, hurry!" cried Aki. "You have to help Con." Grandma took Con in one arm and held Aki in the other. "It's all right now, Aki," she said. "Let's go into the house. But what's happened to Con? You two must have had quite an adventure." Grandma went right to work, sewing very carefully. "He's almost ready," she told Aki. "All that's left is his tail. And the very best thing for a bent tail is a hot bath." When Con heard the word bath, he jumped down from Grandma's lap and began to run. "A bath? No way!" he shouted. If you don't like baths, I don't think Con likes baths. If you don't like baths, put your hand on your head. But if you like baths, put your hand on your shoulder. Me, I like baths. But Grandma caught Con and plunged him into the clean, hot water. This feels wonderful," said Aki. "Well, Con, a bath isn't so bad after all, is it?" asked Grandma. "It's better than being buried in the sand," Con answered. When Con got out of the bathtub, he dried off with a big, soft towel. His beautiful tail was as fat as ever. Thanks to Aki and Grandma, he looked like a brand new fox. The two travelers rested at Grandma's house, and when the morning came, They were ready to begin the journey home. And here they are. They have something together to read together. My neighbor's waving at me. He's putting out his garbage. Everybody, I hope that you can imagine a wonderful journey for yourself. And maybe you will. Maybe you go on a small journey with your family. Maybe you go down and take a walk by the river. Maybe you walk around your neighborhood and have an adventure there. Maybe you take a little drive and get to visit some animals or someone that you know. Anyway, I look forward to another journey with you, another school day, and another adventure. Goodbye.